Back to a frazzled edition of A Guide to Poor Parenting, the podcast where me, Jason,
and me, Jennifer,
have a few drinks
and talk shit about our kids.
Please follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Guide to Poor Parenting.
And Facebook, TikTok at Poor Parent Pod.
And if you have any funny stories about your kids,
or if you need some bad parenting advice or have questions for us,
please call us at 256-274-1329.
Yep, please.
Miss Jennifer, we just met him, but I'm so excited because I've been hearing all the nitty-gritty of his relationship with our friend Judith. So, Miss Jennifer, please welcome to the stage our new friend Chris.
The
Hi, Chris.
Hello.
Hello.
It's very nice to meet you.
Very nice to meet you.
Even though you're far away and not here, but
Big
it's
D.
still nice. One day we're gonna go visit and hang out.
Well, hopefully Judith's gonna drag him along for the Christmas party.
Oh, okay. Did you know about that?
Did you know about this?
Oh, okay.
No.
Well, sounds about right.
Yeah. So last year when Judith came down for the Christmas party, we're like, come back next year and bring Chris. So hopefully y'all can come down.
Oh, that's right. She went last year.
Yeah.
Or she went to visit you. I didn't know it was Christmas party.
Well, it coincided. So, Mr. Chris, how's it out in Dallas?
Well, it's hot, and it's been hotter this September than it was in August, which was weird. Because usually August is like the death month. You're
right.
Just 104 every day, and you're just miserable. And hot at night, but September's been 96 every day, so we're kind of
cold.
We're kind of waiting for the no kidding. We're kind of waiting for the fall to begin, but it's kind of started with sports and everything, so that's good.
I cannot imagine being a high schooler and playing in this heat.
I know.
I mean, you played football, didn't you? If I remember correctly.
I played soccer.
Soccer? Yeah. Oh
Yay,
my God.
I like you even more now. What position?
Played center forward. I was
okay.
Nice. We were good. We competed nationally in indoor, and our outdoor team went all the way to state and lost. But that's another story. That's okay.
You had fun.
We still made it there. We made it to the championship.
That's all that. I mean, that's good.
Yeah.
Do you remember playing? Was it this hot when you were playing?
No, I don't know if it's just getting older, but it just seems like the hot days are hotter. Like a 96 degree day is hotter than a 96 degree day was in the 80s. I don't know what it is. It's
age.
Yeah,
maybe it is age. Yeah.
I can't imagine. Like, I never played soccer, so I don't know. Does it have the same kind of schedule as football? Like, you play around the same time of the year?
No, soccer's more year round. The fall is football's pretty much fall. Soccer, you're playing spring leagues, summer leagues, fall league. Yeah, but the actual like high school season's in the spring. So we played year round.
I just can't imagine being a high schooler playing football and all that gear.
No, I know.
And tell Judith to hush, and she's making too much noise in the background.
Yeah, hush. You're making too much noise. She shot us a bird. You got a license to fly that bird?
So for our dedicated listeners, Chris, you were actually in a long-term relationship with one of our guests this season, Miss Judith.
Yes.
So how did you two meet?
Almost 4 years. We met online. Yeah. I was at my cabin, which is about an hour and a half from here on the lake. And I just finished a date with a girl from Waco who I thought was really cool, but it was friendship cool, not like I didn't have any other interests besides that. And I remember I had sent her a text saying, I really enjoyed our date. I don't think that we're dating material from my standpoint, but I think you're really cool and I want to be friends. And anyway, I remember after that, I was online and I clicked on this girl who had these crazy glasses on in her profile picture, these massive glasses.
That sounds like Judith.
And Judith was sitting in a bar, cross-eyed somewhere with her friends. Yeah, you were. And we started texting and shooting or sending messages back on Facebook, their dating app. And anyway, we kind of hit it off. I thought she was super funny, and I knew that she had the kind of political disposition I did. So I was inclined to, get to know her better. And so we talked vigorously for about a week, and then we finally decided to meet up for our first date, which was her friend Angie's birthday.
Nice.
So it was.
Oh, that's a interesting date, because then you're meeting all of her friends and her.
Yeah, and Angie ended up. Angie Facebook dated the same night with this guy that was a total creepo, and we ended up kind of.
Oh no.
Yeah, we ended up kind of busting him at the bar. He said some crazy stuff. And I was like, "Did you hear what he said?" And the old. This is adult stuff here, right?
Oh
Yeah, you can. Yeah.
Cuss away.
Yeah. He was like, "Yeah, her daughter was home last night. She's a little cock blocker." And I was like,
What?
Whoa. I go, "Oh, really? Okay." So
Okay.
yeah. So after he got up in the bathroom, I said, "Hey, did you hear what he said? This is y'all's first date or second date?" I said, "I don't think." He said that your daughter was a cock blocker. I don't. That's not good.
that is major creep vibe.
That
right
is,
there.
Yeah.
red flag, run.
Yeah, and she did.
Good.
Yeah, she boogied on him pretty quick. But but anyway, we had a great date, and I remember I tried to kiss her, and she jerked her head to the side. I was like, "Oh, okay,
Oh,
all right."
nice.
Yeah, I go, "Okay." I was like, "Yeah, it's on now. I'm gonna."
Red flag.
So
I'm just messing.
That's our good old Judy.
yeah, she's tough, but the good ones are always tough.
That's right. That's why I like her so much.
Yeah.
Do you?
All right, Mr. Chris, what are you sipping on?
I got a Blue Moon.
Woo! Jennifer and I,
What are you sipping?
we were trying to figure out Jennifer doesn't drink beer, and I didn't have any Blue Moon, so I had some. We had from Judith's Christmas party that she attended last year. Someone left a ginger mule mocktail. And I was like, I need some alcohol in this, so I threw some vodka in it with some simple syrup. But
That sounds
it doesn't
good.
really have it's not really that good.
No, it doesn't. It's like drinking water.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of
good.
John Prine, and his famous drink is the vodka and ginger ale.
Who is John?
Prine.
Who's that?
John Prine. He's a songwriter from Chicago who was kind of like the folk. He was a folk songwriter that never really made it mainstream. But once you know him and once you listen to him and study his lyrics, stuff like that, you really get a feel for it. It's amazing stuff. Did you ever heard the Bonnie Raitt, Angel from Montgomery? Or, that's one of his hits. Or let's see, George Strait, I Want to Dance with You. I Want to Dance.
Nope.
I think I know. I think I know that one.
I don't
Anyway.
think I know that one.
I'm a Texas boy, so I think that was pretty popular when I was, because you and I are about the
I'm
same age.
56. What are you?
Oh, okay. No, I'm 47, so you're about 10 years older than me.
Well, I will say you do not look like you're
Well, thank you.
56.
Yeah, we were at her annual fur ball last night. Judith was the best looking thing in the room. Yes.
Furball?
I was
For the
like,
ASPCA.
I'm just trying to hang on.
Well, you're doing a good
thank you.
job, sir.
Judith cracked me up because I sent her a picture the other day of me holding my grandson. And she's like, "Oh my God, your skin looks so good." I was like, "Judith, that is just from a smut, my fingerprint
Oh,
oil
camera-
all over the back
camera
of the camera.
lens. Yeah, that's
It's like the Vaseline
that's the
trick
red-
from the
redneck
50s.
filter.
Yeah. All right, y'all. So we've had our cocktail, so we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be
All
right back. And we're back. All right, Mr. Chris. So Judith voluntold you to be on this podcast, and we appreciate it.
Did she really?
Thank you.
Kind of. She volunteered him.
Did she kind of make you do this?
No, I just sensed that she had a lot of, she was excited about it. So I was like, yeah, I'll do it. I wasn't sure what I was getting into, but she seemed to have a lot of, I try to find things that we'd like to do, like things that give her positive vibes. And so I was like, she seems to have a lot of energy for this. So I'm going to join in. And so it makes she's happy that I'm doing it. I am too. I like to talk. I'm a contractor, so I'm kind of like, I live more of a lonely existence than I did when I was in the mortgage business. And I talked all day long to people. And your conversation skills suffer after a while. Like if you don't practice talking to people, you kind of lose it. And so I got a little, I was a little nervous, but I'm doing better than I thought I would.
You're doing great.
Yeah, you're doing great. We get that quite a bit, like when we ask people to come on the podcast, because we're just talking to like everyday people around like where we live or people we know remotely. And they're like, oh, I was so nervous. And I'm like, it's just us sitting around shooting the shit, complaining about our kids. Usually that's all we're doing. So, let's talk about. So, how many kids do you have? I think I've heard. Just one.
Yep. She just turned 21 on the 16th, and when I turned 21, I was living in Austin in a little $150 a room shack with 3 other guys, and I walked down to the Conoco, which is right across on Guadalupe, right across the street from the tavern, and bought my first 6-pack of beer with my ID, and I was like, yeah. And he's like, well, hey, you're legit. And anyway, she went to the same gas station and made her first beer purchase at the same gas station on her 21st birthday. So we have that. And she took
hilarious.
a picture. She took a picture and sent it to me.
That's so funny. Now, I grew up in Austin. Where were you living?
Where Baylor, where like Peace Park is, Baylor Street, 12th. 12th, there's like Peace Park's right there with that. And then that 12th goes up the hill to the cash carry up there. Anyway, Baylor Street is like the first street off of parallel with Guadalupe off of 12th. It'll be west. West.
So 20. All right. So you're 50. You said 56 now. So 21.
57.
So that was 35 years ago. So that would have
1990. 1990. I turned 21. And
okay, because I would have been in junior high, I think. In
what high school did you get?
Yeah, because I went to Hyde Park Baptist High School. It was a private Baptist high school. It was kind of just north of downtown. Yep. And we we lived south. Do you know where Barton Creek Square Mall is? Yeah, just kind of just south of that. I think Southwest Parkway, I think is the name, off that big street. I don't know. It's been so long since I live in Austin, I can't remember anything anymore. But
yeah, it's so different than it was back then.
I mean, the traffic was bad then, and I went back probably about 10 years ago, and I couldn't believe how bad the traffic was.
It's crazy. So, they just didn't keep up with the infrastructure.
Okay, so let's backtrack. So your daughter's 21. So 22 years ago, how did she come to be?
Well, her mother and I, her mother's from Peru.
Okay.
We'd been married since 99. And so I guess 5 years into our marriage, we finally we'd had a couple miscarriages, and then we finally got pregnant in 2004. And anyway, and started that process. And it was a beautiful time, happy times.
Was it a easy birth and
well, no, we had to do a C-section because Julia was 9 1/4 pounds.
Oof.
And Milu's she's like, Milu was short for Maluska, but Milu was like 5'3", 5'2", she just didn't have the anatomy to be able to safely do that.
Push out that watermelon.
Yeah.
Good Lord. Did y'all, were y'all just a one and done, or was it?
Yeah, we were one and done. Yeah. We just, we struggled even with just one. It was a lot of, I was a contractor and I was working all the time, and I own an insulation business in Dallas, and Milu was staying at home with Julia, and we're just like, man, I don't see how we could do 2 or 3 of these. It'd be tough. I don't see how people do it, but I don't,
Agreed. Jennifer and I both adopted our kids, and like in the foster care adoptive world, it's either you're a one and done or you're 7. There's there's very little in between. It's rare.
Gotcha.
It's rare when you see people just like 2 or 3 kids. It's like, oh yeah, we adopted 6 of them.
Well, you have
Well, I have 2, but like
they're grown.
I mean, I adopted my daughter when she was 21, or 19.
Oh wow!
So she was an adult, and she
cool.
never lived with us. So, but yeah,
that's cool.
I don't like my best friend from Austin. She was a social worker, and she's like, when she had their second kid, they're like, all her money was going to go to daycare if she stayed working. So she's like, why don't I just stay home? So
yeah, that's how we were. It's like, Milu really couldn't make it. She'd go to work and just make enough money to pay the daycare, and I'm like, well, what are we doing? So we just found a way. It was cheaper to keep her at home.
Y'all were in Dallas at this point, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we were in Dallas. We had I had a duplex that I rented for years, and I ended up buying it from the old man who owned it. So we had a duplex that we lived in.
What part of Dallas were y'all in?
Well, it's near Lake Highlands, but it was North Dallas, so it's kind of on the north tip of White Rock Lake.
Okay.
But not quite in Lake Highlands, which is where she ended up going to school.
Very cool. I lived in Dallas for about 2 years when I was at SMU, and I stayed kind of in that Park Cities area, so I don't know.
Yeah.
I know of White Rock Lake and Lake Highlands, but I don't know. I could kind of picture them in my mind, but I never went out there. So. Yeah.
Do you remember a train station right on the north side of the lake, the Dart Rail station?
I've driven through White Rock Lake on my way to something like Rockwall, I think. I don't know. Yeah. I never spent any time out there, and Judith had by the time I moved to Huntsville, Judith had when I was living there, Judith and I actually were we were like 2 miles apart. She was in the downtown, not downtown, but uptown area, like where I was.
Yeah.
So we never. Yeah. She moved after I moved out here. So.
Gotcha.
What?
Yeah.
How long were you and Milu married for?
Yeah, 20 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
And so it was 5 years when by the time you had Julia.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Was it an amicable divorce, or was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was. It was. Yeah. We just it just lost its energy towards the end there, and we were just kind of both staring at each other, like,
just like,
where do we go from here?
You're just roommates at that point.
Kind of like roommates. Yeah, we weren't sleeping in the same bed, and it wasn't. It wasn't a true marriage anymore. I mean, she's still family, and I love her to death, and she's a friend, and I'd do anything for her. But, I just didn't want to be married anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, sometimes it just you kind of just move apart, and then things change. What you want to do, what they want to do, it just kind of changes. But if you can be friends, that really helps the child.
Yeah. I've tried really hard to keep things peaceful and amicable, and be a friend and be there for her and Julia as much as I can on everything, and so hopefully it'll continue that way, in the future.
Does your daughter live near you?
She lives in Austin. I'm in Dallas. She was here but she moved last year. She went to Austin, started at Austin Community College.
Okay, so you guys probably have already talked about this, but Austin and
so they're about 4 hours. Austin's very central Texas. Dallas is about 4 hours north.
okay. I don't know Texas. I've been to San Antonio.
Are y'all in Huntsville?
Yeah, Huntsville, Alabama.
Yeah, and
my dad's side of the family is from Eufaula. I don't know if you ever heard of Eufaula.
I've heard of Eufaula.
Yeah,
I don't know where it is.
It's just north of Dothan.
Yeah, that's southern Alabama.
Yeah, southeast Alabama.
Yeah.
Actually,
they used to,
go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
No, go ahead.
No, they used to ask my dad. That my dad would say, They say, "Where are you from, Dave?" He'd say, "I'm from L.A."
Yep.
And he'd go, "Lower Alabama."
Actually, one of Judith let me know that your dad was actually in the Auburn Hall of Fame, right? The Auburn.
He's in the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame.
Alabama Sports Hall of Fame.
The state,
Okay.
the whole state.
Not the
but he
other
played for
team
Auburn.
that we don't like, right? The Auburn people don't
Right.
like.
Yeah. The Alabama Sports Hall of Fame encompasses all sports and all Alabama athletes.
Okay, that's really cool.
So Auburn, Alabama, all the
don't say the other
schools,
one.
everything.
It's okay.
Yeah. Yeah, he got inducted with like Riley Gaines, the Olympic swimmer.
Oh wow.
And a couple other guys. I can't remember but they were famous, like John Hanna. I don't know if y'all have heard of him, but he's Hall of Fame.
So he went to Alabama, Auburn?
He went to Auburn.
Yeah.
Yeah, he played. Yeah, he was a big athlete at all. He all SEC tight end at Auburn.
What position did he play?
Yeah.
Tight end.
Tight end. Okay.
Well, of course, back then the ends played both ways.
Yep.
So you would play offense and defense. And so he ended up getting drafted by the Broncos and went out there and didn't want to play in a kind of an upstart league. So he got a call from this guy named Gil Brandt in Dallas and said, I want you to come to Dallas and try out for the Cowboys.
Wow.
And so he did. And he ended up playing with the Cowboys.
That's really cool.
13 years. So.
My mom and pops are huge Cowboys fans.
Are they?
Yeah. So what's your dad's name?
Dave Edwards. He was a lineman. Yeah.
I'm gonna write his name down so that I can be like, Mama, do you know a Dave Edwards? Because they've been watching since I can remember. I mean, I don't remember much, but
Right.
How old's your dad?
He passed away in 2016. He was 76.
I'm sorry to hear that.
About to turn 76.
Sorry.
That's okay. He used to tell me. He said, man, I'm glad to be here, and when I'm gone, it's been a good one.
That's the way to live.
Yep.
I was gonna say he may have. My parents, when growing up in Texas, we had a lake house north of Houston, and our neighbor at the lake house, Joe something, he was actually an Auburn quarterback, and he may have played with your dad, but I'm blanking on his name right now. So. Like a small world. Yeah.
He's a huge Auburn fan still until he died. Cowboys and Auburn.
That's so amazing. When I was growing up, Dallas was like America's team. The Cowboys were just like I don't really pay much attention to sports, so I don't know what it is like now. But I just remember back in the late '90s, it was like it's like this is America's team.
Yeah. Well, and my dad and guys like Roger Staubach and all the famous old players that used to win every year and did it with class. And they had Tom Landry, who was the coach. He was like, and they had Captain Merrick, and they set the precedent for all that. So once that second wave of success came, then they were kind of, using the success that my dad and his teammates built when they went to the playoffs 12 straight years.
Yeah.
Nice.
And 3 Super Bowls, all that. So.
Yeah, I do. What, didn't they play back in the 90s? They were in the Super Bowl 3 years in a row, and like 2 of them they played not the Broncos, but the Bills. Bills, yeah. I vaguely remember that.
I'm proud of you for remembering the Bills, baby. I'm the sports person more so than he is, so I'm proud of him.
my dad's last game was Super Bowl 10, which was they lost to the Steelers back in the 70s. And so when we played the third Super Bowl, it was 2 of them with the Bills, 1 with the Steelers, and we beat the Steelers finally. So he was really excited to beat the Steelers because he lost to them. He lost to the Steelers in the 70s, the great team they had.
Huh.
And he's like, I won to
That was
you
his
guys
last
now,
game.
so hi.
Yeah, it was his last game. He wanted to go out on top.
And it sounds like you did.
Yeah, well, he lost to the Steelers, so.
Well, but didn't you say that he won then?
I think that was.
He did win 1. He won.
He won 1. I mean,
Yeah, he won 1 and lost 2.
Oh,
That's pretty good. It was pretty good.
You know, for someone who is not sports affiliated at all, I've met so many people like tangentially, like 1 degree separation. Like I know someone who I think I know a Heisman winner. I think like through 1 degree of separation from you. I know someone who did Super Bowl. My orthodontist growing up actually was a gold medalist in the 70s for basketball.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
So. Weird connection for someone who does not give a shit about sports.
Yeah.
So did your dad ever try and get you to since you were a sports family, was your dad like you need to become a professional athlete?
No.
Good.
No. My dad was the team. He was one of the more popular guys on the team, but he was also he stayed away from the media, and he was kind of a rebel. You know, he would pull up. He carried a purse, and had like a bag of weed in it.
Yeah.
And this is the 70s, which is back then it was a lot more dangerous to do that. But
not if you're an NFL star, it's not.
He'd pull up he'd pull up in his Porsche and would have a motorcycle trailer behind the Porsche with dirt bikes on it. And after practice, they'd go ride dirt bikes.
Oh, that's funny.
But your dad was very popular.
Yeah.
He was crazy. Yeah, he was.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
He was a blast. Yeah.
I was about to say, what was his parenting style? Was he kind of hands off, and your mom was the primary?
Oh yeah. Man, there was no helicopter.
There's no such thing except for the thing that flies. Back in the day.
It was always, what you gonna do about it? How you gonna? Well, that sounds like a problem, man. What you gonna do about it? You figure it out.
So when you were raising Julia, how was that? What was the dynamic with you and what was her? I'm sorry, you said your ex-wife's name again.
Milu.
Not Mila, but
Milu.
Milu.
Yeah.
What was the
Miluska? Yeah.
Maluska. So. What was the parenting dynamic there? Was she kind of more since she was a stay-at-home? I'm assuming she was more the primary.
We spoiled her. We did. I wish I had been tougher on her. And forced her to be more independent. We
coddled her a little bit.
Yeah, let her fail. Let her suffer consequences for her choices. She would.
That sounds like a good parent.
We'd bail her out.
He wishes he'd
done it more. Yeah,
I wish you had done it more. Okay, I'm sorry, I misunderstood.
She went through high school and she had a real tough time in high school because her sophomore year in high school, when she was trying to fit in with everybody, the COVID year hit, and we were at home for a year, and then
that really sucked for everybody.
And then when she went back, it was hard for her to fit in. She didn't feel any. And so she got lucky and met a couple good friends, and she started and went from me wondering if she was going to drop out to being an A student. So
wow,
oh great,
yeah, she kind of. But yeah, if I had one regret as a parent, it would have been I wish that I would have made her forced her to figure out find the solutions for her. A lot of the things, the challenges that she faced, is constantly trying to help her and fix it for her, and because you're not doing them any good unless they learn to, and I'm suffering for that today a little bit because she's in Austin, and I work hard and I pay for her rent down there and stuff like that, and she doesn't. She needs to get a job and be working and helping me. Anyway, that's kind of.
Is she in school?
She's in college, community college.
She's a full-time student, but 2 of her classes are online, and she can work a part-time job somewhere, doing something, help me out a little bit. So that's kind of that's what Judith and I have been trying to urge her to do that, and we've hadn't had a lot of success. So
right. Well, it's hard after she's been a little,
she's
spoiled.
Yeah.
Do you feel like maybe it was your parenting style was a bit more of a reaction to your dad's, like super hands off with everything?
Yes. Yeah. I remember, because I paid my way through college. I've got a degree in accounting, and I paid for every % of it, worked full time. I never got any help from my mother or my dad. And I remember thinking how miserable I was a lot of times, because I grew up in Highland Park in Dallas. And so all my friends were wealthy, and they all had it so easy. And I remember just working on the time going, God, man, if I ever get a chance I don't want my kid to go through this, what I'm going through. If I get a chance to provide for him, I'm going to, And
right.
So, but I, mixed emotions about that, because I want her to be independent and, have lots of, and just be competitive and independent and learn and, become a responsible adult who can meet the challenges of life, without having to be me having to help her through everything, So
I'm sure she'll get there.
Yeah, I was telling Judith this. That she was kind of explaining the situation a bit to me the other day, and I'll admit I grew up pretty privileged, kind of like your daughter did, and like my parents paid for everything. But I turned out pretty good. I finally clicked in my shut your mouth, Jennifer.
You turned out privileged.
No, I did turn out privileged. I'm not saying I didn't, but I also finally figured out in my late 20s to actually, to start hustling a bit harder than I did earlier. So yeah, I think she'll get there eventually. Don't beat yourself up too bad.
Well, and her first time she signed up for community college, she completely blew it off. Like, she had anxiety and wouldn't go to class, and that was here in Dallas. And I was like, man, maybe just a change of scenery will help, And so she moved to Austin, where she was around more kids her age and could, have a roommate and straight A's. So she has a 3.6 now, which is pretty good.
Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah.
What is she studying?
She's just taking the basics at ACC. So she's probably going to try to do, I told her to try to transfer to UT Austin and try to go after like a communications or a marketing degree, somewhere there, And that's kind of what she's leaning towards.
I was about to say, as a graduate of Texas State down in San Marcos, I can recommend that school a lot.
Yeah. But she likes St. Edwards. She likes UT Austin. So
she likes St. Edwards. I hope you like that bill, because that's a private Lutheran, or that's a private religious school. That's expensive as hell.
Yeah, I know. I told her, I said, we probably can't swing that one.
I was like, you're going to have to pay for that one.
Unless you get a job.
Unless you, or rack up some debt.
Or selling them feet pictures.
Yeah.
So what was like Jennifer's son is 14. My granddaughter that we're raising is 11. What was that age range with Julia?
Yeah. She had a lot of anxiety, and she was struggling with friend groups, and we weren't quite as wealthy and as privileged as a lot of her peers and their families and parents. So she would measure up and compare a lot and stuff like that. And I told her, I said, Julia, listen, in 5-10 years, none of this is going to matter.
Yep.
You just try to make good grades, and just be nice to the people who are nice to you. Don't try to fit in with people who are cool or amazing or popular, because they can hurt your feelings, and they may not really like you that much. Just, find you some friends who truly like you for who you are.
Yeah.
Which is harder said than done when you're a girl.
Yep.
I know.
And you don't have what they have, and you compare yourself. And
I was about to say, she was probably around for the intro to like social media and shit like that too. So
yeah.
Like we struggle with like letting our granddaughter on social media, because I'm just like, she wants a cell phone, and I want to push it off as far as we can, because I just see all the pitfalls of social media for a little girl, and I'm like, oh, I don't want her to experience that.
Yeah,
I know. I know I almost see it as a gift, growing up as a kid, not having, as fun as social media is, fun as the internet, and basically having no boredom in your life ever. Matt, you're never bored. Like boredom is a thing of the past. You could always grab your phone and jump in on something, and I just don't see that as overall. I think there's lots of negatives to that, with the way kids communicate, with the way they become creative, and have to. When I was a kid, we had to figure out we were bored. We had to figure out stuff. We had to figure out ways to. And that led to a lot of creativity and
definitely
thinking on your own, and
right.
Yeah. Nowadays, my punishment for Kalia is she loses screen time and she has to spend time outside. And I remember when we were kids, it was like, okay, that's all you had to do. It's like go outside or watch soap operas.
Yeah.
Don't come back till the streetlights are on. Mm-hmm. I don't care what you're doing.
Yeah.
There was free reign.
I used to marvel at my mother because she was just the great conversationalist, like she grew up with no internet and no texting, so those people in her generation, they had to talk to, they talked to people.
Yep.
God, she was just
had that long ass cord on the phone.
She could just sit there and her friend Maureen would call and they would just yap for hours. It was amazing. Yep. And she was a great salesman, like she could talk the money right out of your wallet.
Sell ice to an Eskimo.
You sell ice to an Eskimo. Yeah. That's right.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I'm a bit of a out of place in time lately because I don't know if you've ever been around when I call Judith, but like Jennifer and my husband are both music people. So like when they get in the car, it's like, oh, we're going to listen to this music. You don't touch. I am the DJ. So I'm like, I just sit there. But if I'm driving and I'm alone, I'm just calling people. So like, I will literally just call Judith 2 or 3 times a week. I'm like, talk to me. I'm bored. I don't want to listen to music and I have nothing else. I can't be on my phone. So you're going to keep me entertained. But I am increasingly the odd man out. I know no one that calls anyone as much as I call people. So
I know. Conversation is a thing of the past. Our attention spans are so short now. It's one TikTok, one TikTok clip to the next. And
my thing is I worked in a call center for almost 10 years. So I don't want to talk on the phone. That was too much talking. And I'll do it with my mom because it's my mom and I love my mom. And when my grandfather was alive, I'd do it with him because, of course, he's not texting me. But anybody else, I'm like, please just text me. Unless it's too much to say in a text, you can text me. That's fine.
My dad was hilarious. He had a flip phone forever. Remember on the old flip phones how texting was so weird? You'd have to hit like the number. You'd have the 3 button like 3 times for a C, and then
it was so easy.
We were just talking about that. I could drive and text because I could do it by touch.
Well, anyway.
Yeah.
You just drive and you know what numbers to push.
Phone.
You're good.
I tried to text him one time, and he called me and said, "Chris, don't you ever text me again, man? I can't figure this little thing out. My fingers are too big, And what are you doing?" And then I got him an iPhone, and he started. He figured out the texting, So I called him one day and I said, "Hey, Dad, what's going on?" And he was playing golf. He said, "Hey, man, I'm busy. Just text me." I was like, "Oh, how things have changed."
Yeah, I mean, I think phones are cool, but with TikTok, I think, or those like reels, I think that it's shortened kids' attention spans.
Yeah.
Because like back in the day, we would have to watch commercials.
Yeah.
And they don't have to work. They don't know that. Or if you miss an episode, you don't ever get to see it again kind of thing. So in my opinion, it's a plus and a minus. There's so many, things that you can think of on that,
If I could offer advice to parents, it'd be find projects for your kids that take patience.
Yes.
Where you have to wait for the results, days, weeks, plan something that starts as a little small sprout that turns into a beautiful bush that may take 3 or 4 months, and stuff like that, because they're so trained to just get impatient so quick because they're
definitely
quick.
And then they have the computers at school, so they need to do stuff outside of computers. So that's a really good idea. Now with your daughter,
I was gonna say, does Lake Highlands require kids to have because our schools, they give the kids laptops, Chromebooks.
They have Chromebooks.
Does Lake Highlands
do
that?
Chromebooks,
Okay,
Now with your daughter, she's of the age of dating. So have you does she have
she has a girlfriend.
Girlfriend?
She has a girlfriend.
She has a girlfriend?
Yeah.
And have you met said girlfriend?
Yeah, Sophia. Yeah, she's
And do we like Sophia? Yeah.
I was going to say, I was going to actually I'm glad you brought that up because I remember Judith told me that she recently came out, didn't she?
Yeah.
Julia came out recently?
Julia. I mean, she admitted that she's just basically said, I have a girlfriend. She said, I don't know what that means. And I said, don't try to define it. Just go with it. And if somebody loves you and treats you like a queen and you have a lot of fun with her, just do it, and you don't need to define it, and
you can't help who you like or love.
How long ago did she tell you about the girlfriend?
It's probably been about 6 months or so.
Okay.
Yeah.
How did her mom react to it?
She was cautiously happy, but she just it's just kind of like
is it her culture?
It might be a little bit.
Say she was,
it's just that you always kind of have this ingrained mental you just have this path you see for your child, because so much is like trying to be normal, what's this, is she gonna get married and have kids and blah 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 and follow that normal path of life, and when you find out it's not quite that perfectly straight line, it's veering, it's just
throws you through a
little bit. It's different for a little bit, but then you think about it and you're like, hey, that's what I told her. I said, if she sees the beauty in my daughter the way I do, and loves her the way I do, I don't care who she is,
Aww.
So
I like you even more.
I don't care who she is.
Now I see why Judy Booty likes you so much.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, she's but yeah, I'm the more I've gotten my head around Sophia, the more I like it. I'm just Julia seems really happy, like super happy, and I'm like, that's all I really want.
Right.
You see that glow, and so whatever makes that happen, I'm in.
And as long as she doesn't hurt her or she doesn't stop her from doing what she's supposed to be doing.
She's dated.
Maybe she can even talk her into getting a job to help out.
Yes, because Sophia's she's like a go-getter. She's kind of a tomboy, kind of a.
She got the hustle.
She's Starbucks, like she's bought her own car, and she's like, wow. She's a hustler, like she's a fighter. She works hard. She saved her money, she bought her own little Ford Bronco, and
Nice.
Yeah.
Sounds like she's dating her. She, the old adage, we always date girls always date their fathers. Sounds like she's dating her dad.
Yeah. And she's a Hawaiian Italian.
Oh, wow, that's an interesting combo. Yeah.
She's really pretty, but and so I've been really excited about it. I know that Julia's in a safe place and she's happy. So
that's awesome.
And that's all that matters.
Yeah, that's all that matters.
I was going to ask, when Julia was about 11 or 12, I've been struggling with this with Kalia, is the near constant attitude and just shitty. She's not well, she's mildly disrespectful, but just constantly grouchy. Did Julia go through something like that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, they, you take them to school, they don't say a word. You pick them up. How was your day?
And they're just pissed
How was
off.
your day? Fine. Oh, really?
That sounds.
Stop talking to me. I don't talk to you anymore.
Did you do anything fun at school today? Not really. It's all right.
At least you're getting answers.
Yeah.
We get grunts.
Yeah, they go through this phase. It's like they're developing. It's like that transition of adolescent to teen, and they just got to go through some emotional stuff that it's hard to explain.
Yeah.
Right.
But
so what was what was early teenage years like after? Is that when the anxiety started?
Yeah, because I've had anxiety. I get depression and anxiety kind of runs in my family on my dad's side. And anyway, I think she got it. We have this thing called disassociation, where you kind of just like feel weird in your own skin. You disassociate from your own being. It's hard to explain.
Yeah,
but you just
kind of phase out.
Phase out and kind of forget who you are for a minute. It's like you're just like yeah. And she has that too. I've had that, and I've struggled with it forever. But she gets it too, and then she also got the anxiety that I had in college when I was in college. Luckily, when I was working at the grocery store in Austin and going to school at ACC and UT, and I was just broke and just struggling and just it was just hard, and I was so stressed out, and I would get anxiety, and I remember seeing her just being in tears, just couldn't catch her breath, she just felt like she was going to pass out.
Yeah.
It was just horrible. But we tried some of the anxiety drugs and stuff, and she really just kind of grew out of it. And
okay,
well, that's good.
And honestly, I think now that she's kind of found herself, found her way a little bit, it's really helped,
Yeah. Settled into her own
skin. Settled into her own skin. She's found some direction and she has her girlfriend is super supportive and makes her happy. So,
that's awesome.
I
think it's kind of phased out a little bit. And it did for me too. After I had a couple episodes when I was in my 20s, early 20s, and I wasn't out of school yet. I graduated college when I was 25, after that it kind of faded. I hadn't had it since, and it's not fun. Anxiety is when you have it bad, and it's torture. Yeah, you just like you can't catch your breath. You just feel like you're going to pass out for hours.
I've never had I've never been an anxious person, but I will say the closest I think I've ever come to it was I was watching a friend present something to the city council in our town, and I had to leave the room because I was starting to hyperventilate. Yeah. And I was like, oh, I cannot be in this. I don't know what triggered it, but I was just like, wow, I think this might have been an anxiety attack. But I've never had, I don't know what, watching confrontation is really hard for me. I just can't, even on reality shows we watch, I'm just like, I'll leave the room if there's a fight starting.
You don't like confrontation. Gives you anxiety.
No.
But he loves to spill the tea
I love
on
gossip.
other people.
Oh my God, gossip is my
confrontation.
That's okay.
How does that make sense?
That says a lot. It says a lot about who you are as a person. You don't like confrontation. That's great. That's no one. You shouldn't like confrontation.
I love it.
I want to hear about confrontation.
Third party.
Yeah, third party. Once removed, I want to hear it after it happens. I don't want to watch it.
Yeah, I'm the same way. I get uncomfortable when I know people are fights about to break out, or some guy's being really unreasonable at the airport and he's just about to lose it.
Or some dude's talking about being his girlfriend's child being a cockblock.
Oh yeah, I was like, if I don't say something, this could come back on me. I have to say something. Seriously? I had to say something. Sorry, dude.
Well, it's good that you did. Because,
sorry, dude, you're out.
Was it the sister or
no?
Best friend. Yeah, Angie.
Oh, best friend. Yeah, definitely. Because then you're helping out. Well,
I don't just go like, he was looking at me like kind of good old boy in me, like, hey, she's a cockblock. And I was like, bro, what do you know?
You can't say that. But you're getting brownie points because you're, helping her friend. And then you're getting rid, helping the girl out because you're like, nah, he don't need to be around us. This is
we see what you're after,
people you probably want in your life.
Yeah.
Right.
It was bad.
Definitely. I can see that.
I one other thing I wanted to ask you for, because we're getting close to the end, but I just wanted to, there's a couple other things I want to ask. So you started dating Judith about 4 years ago, and Judith is the mother of a 14-year-old. How has it been to be, I guess, I mean, you're not married yet, but, or you're not married to Judith, but like,
partners.
Well, I don't know. I don't know their plans.
Jason.
We're partners.
Anyway, you're not married, but yeah, you're partners and you're part of his life now. How has it been being kind of quasi step parent to a 14-year-old?
Yeah, it's a struggle at times because I don't want to overstep my bounds as a getting in their business and trying to parent when I shouldn't be. So I a lot of times I just keep my mouth shut and I try to offer advice as a friend. Like this is what I would do if it was me.
Right.
And I try to offer advice as a parent sometimes to Judith, and just based on my experience, and so, when I see that kind of coddling and helicopter parenting going on, it starts to make me crazy. But I'm guilty of it myself. So I have to temper what I say because it'd make me a hypocrite.
Learn from kind of like learn from my mistakes.
Yeah.
It's not,
do things. The best thing you can do for a kid is to teach a kid how to take care of himself or herself.
Right.
The best thing you can do.
Get them ready for life.
Like, I told Julie, I said, college isn't about going to study something that you're going to make money with. College is about practicing how to meet life's challenges and managing your time and getting through and meeting those challenges that they put in. And then you also get a broad education where you can learn to think critically,
right. And find like-minded individuals.
It's not all about just money. There's way more to it than that.
Because you can, like Jason and Judy, you didn't meet at school, but you met like while you were doing
we were both in grad school at the time.
Yeah. So I mean, like they've been friends forever. Now, how does your daughter feel about Judy or Judith? I should.
She loves Judith.
Middle name.
Yeah, they're very
awesome.
good. They're close. They're pretty close. I mean, Julie is in Austin, so they don't get to interact that much. But we've had dinner with Julia and Sophia, and we met them, and it went great. And
good.
That's awesome.
What about ex-wife?
I was about to say I've met Judith's ex, Ray. Do you have any kind of relationship with him at all? I mean, besides okay,
Ray and I we're good, real good. He knows that. When I was trying to get close to Judith, and she's hard to get close to. She's very, she keeps you at an arm's length, and I was trying to get close. I was trying to accelerate the process a little bit. So I was like, hey, you should bring a rider down to the lake house and we'll get him on the boat and take him fishing and maybe jump off some cliffs, and
do some boy
stuff. And that was, man, once I got him down there, it was over. He was crying. We had him on a 3-foot cliff the first time we out there. He was crying, hanging onto the rock, and he finally jumped off. And within 1 month, he was jumping off the highest one, like 30-footer.
Nice.
No problem.
Now, what about Judy and your ex?
Nope, nothing yet.
Do they interact?
My ex hasn't let go yet. She's still kind of hanging on a little bit, which has been tough.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
I can imagine.
Yeah, she left
hard.
me, but and I told her.
I
said, it's over, and she left.
Right.
And,
but no one else can have you, even though she don't want you.
Yeah, it's been tough. So I have to kind of be careful with that a little bit because
where's she live?
She lived in Plano for a long time, and then she was struggling with her health a little bit. She moved in with her sister Gina at her house in North Dallas with her husband Dan. So she lives with him.
Okay, so you're all in Texas.
Yeah, Plano's
a Texas.
Plano is like about 45 minutes north of Houston, I would say.
Plano's about 30 minutes north of Dallas. Yeah.
Dallas, that's what I meant. Sorry, Dallas. It's a like way northern suburb of Dallas. Like you could possibly live there and drive down to Dallas if you needed to.
Okay.
It's like
so everybody's kind of really close together.
Yeah.
So that kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, at least you get along well with Ryder.
Yeah.
And with Judy.
I was about to say, has it been weird having a tween and now a teenager back in your life?
A little bit, because you just see the same stuff that Julia went through. You see a lot of it, you know.
But as a boy,
it's a little bit different, But he's still, you know, he has the same insecurities, you know, and
right.
You know, he's a single child, so he expects attention right away, you know, and results. You know, like we went to a dance last night, and he got stuck at a park by himself because his friends had to go home, and we were hustling across town to pick him up, you know, and it was dark. He was scared. So,
poor baby.
But anyway, you know, but like I said, we told him, he said, you should stay at your dad's house. Don't go anywhere. And he went to the park and then got isolated. So, you know, in my opinion, I was like, you know, he made his own bed. He's got to sleep in it.
Kept him there.
Yeah, that was his choice, you know. So let's not. He's not a victim.
That's not rush.
He's not a victim here.
Yeah. That's still just But I mean, you seem like a very good partner and stepdad. You know your kind of, I don't want to say boundaries, but like what to do and not to do.
Yeah.
So I think you're doing a really good job on like not saying, hey, Judith, you should do your son like this. It's like, hey, you know, I kind of went through this with my daughter, and this is kind of how I should have done this, so that it's not like a blame game or whatever like that, you know?
Knowing Judith, I was about to say, had Chris done the first thing you said, where I can imagine.
Well, I know Judith wouldn't have done it.
Yeah, I was about to say, I can just imagine if Chris had said something like, hey, you should do this for Ryder. I think Judith would have blown a fucking gasket.
Well, I mean, but you know what I was trying to get to.
I know. I'm just saying, like,
she's an independent woman, and you can't tell her what to do.
Exactly.
But you can offer advice and say, hey, I did this with my daughter, but it didn't work out. So maybe if you want to take my advice, this is maybe something you could do. Because he could always word it a way that...
No, I'm just saying I'm impressed that Chris has got the...
really,
situational awareness of both the dynamics with Judith and with Ryder. So
yeah, but he's been there for a minute, so you know.
But
he's learned.
that also, I would say, shows a lot of emotional intelligence.
Definitely,
I'm a friend. I'm a friend to Ryder. You know, he knows. You ask him, you feel like Chris would always be there for you? He'd say yes. You know, like.
Aww.
The other thing I was going to ask before we go, though, is was there much dating on your part, at least, after the divorce? Like,
I was
serial monogamist.
Were you a player?
I was a man whore.
Oh,
I was known as the man whore for a while.
You sowed your wild oats.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah,
but I mean, I was just looking for love, just like everybody does, you know.
Yeah. So I don't know if Judy's going to listen to this or not, but because he brought it up earlier, any plans in the future to pop a ring?
Maybe. We'll see.
All right.
We're getting the tea. We're just trying to get the tea, get the information, you know?
Yeah. It's got to be, I want it to get to that point, but it's got to get to that point.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have to get, permission to.
I've been through this once, and so has she, It's like,
yeah.
I mean, there's not.
And you don't have to have
unless you're having kids, don't get married.
Yeah, seriously. Like
only for insurance, I heard. Insurance helps,
Yeah.
It's just, it's hard to get out of it, and it's ugly.
Yeah.
No rush.
I was just wondering. I'm nosy, and
I will say I do hope that you and Judith said she wants to come back for our Christmas party, so I'm hoping she brings you too. We're gonna, if you do come, we'll show you around Huntsville. Hopefully, you'll have a great time.
Cool, man. I'd love to.
We're gonna take a quick break, and we'll be right back. And we're back. All right, so this is normally the spot where we do a snack, but since this is a remote episode and we were kind of frazzled, we didn't do a snack today. But it is story time, and Mr. Chris, we asked you to hold on to a story in the back of your mind that you could tell our listeners. So, what you got?
Well, let's see. I alluded to the story of when I painted my neighbor's house when I was
tell us
5 years old. Okay, well, we had this old lady live next door in a little small house. We had built a brand new big house in a wealthy part of Dallas, and her name was Mildred Appling, and she used to give me jelly toast all the time in the morning. She'd heat up. I would go over there and knock on her door, and she'd let me in. Let me draw. It was like maybe 4 or 5, right in that range.
Aww.
So, and she would make me jelly toast, which is just like wheat toast with butter and jelly on it. It was really good. And anyway, we had this kid who lived on the street named Robert, who was a few years older than me. And we used to play, we play together. And one day Robert was like, let's go see Mildred and see if she, see what she's doing. Maybe she'll give us some toast. So we went over there, knocked on her door, and she wasn't there. And he realized the door was unlocked, so he goes in, and he we walked in and got into her garage and grabbed this paint bucket of white latex paint, house paint, exterior paint.
Oh, Lord.
What did you do, Chris?
And so I grabbed the paint bucket and I grabbed a paintbrush and I walked inside into her living room and started painting everything. And I painted her kitchen table and her.
Oh my God.
I painted her TV screen.
Oh my God.
The actual screen of the TV?
The screen. And then
what color?
White.
It was white. And she had a black poodle named Sadie, and I painted a stripe down Sadie's back to make her look like the skunk on the cartoons.
Oh my God, Christopher.
I love it though.
I went out back, painted her tree.
Pepe Le Pew. Yeah.
Pepe Le Pew. And then I ended up painting just about everything in there. I was painting her. And anyway, the story got out because my father at the time was still playing with the Cowboys. And so it was a big story,
Well known.
Yeah. I was made out to be this in a joking way, like this big criminal. And so they had the channel 4 or 5, 8. One of the news crews was out and they interviewed my dad. They interviewed me and they were talking about jail and all this. And I was this little 5-year-old kid.
Wait. Jail on a 5-year-old?
Well, it was a joke.
But were you like panicking?
Well, I didn't know. I had thought I was doing good. Like I thought I was helping. And of course that Robert kid, their family moved out of the neighborhood that night, like the night after we did it.
So you got all the blame.
Yeah, and they didn't have to pay for any of the damages. My dad had to pay for everything.
Oh my God. And I'm sure like back in that day it was one of those old huge tube televisions, so I'm sure it cost $400 and was like 300 pounds.
Yeah, it was a huge, one of those big old school tube TVs.
Oh my God.
Easy to paint, it's a big square.
God. Lord.
So yeah.
So I have questions. Did you go home and tell your dad about this, or did Mildred walk in and see you painting everything?
Good question. I don't know.
Good question, but I don't know the answer to that.
I don't know. I don't know what happened. It's such a vague memory to me. I barely remember it because I don't know. I think that I do remember that my dad didn't spank me or anything because I think he understood that I generally thought I was doing good, like I was helping.
Yeah, I mean, and at 4 or 5, it's kind of like, well,
And if you're not home, lock your doors.
Jesus. Yeah, and back then in the 70s, people didn't lock their doors in Highland Park in Dallas. I guess that's why we got in so easily.
I was about to say, I bet all the neighbors in Park started locking the doors after you.
Yeah.
Well, and it was another guy too. It's not all Chris's fault. It was somebody else too. He was the one that opened the door. Chris didn't.
Yeah,
it's all the other dude's fault.
I'm not sure. I'm
buying it.
The older kid knew what was going on.
Yeah, he was smart. Like he knew. He was like, I'm gonna blame it on this.
He knew it was bad. Yeah, his family moved out of town. They didn't want to get stuck with the repair bill.
Oh my god,
that is some stuffing.
Can't cuss on this podcast, Jennifer.
That's some shit.
That's some shit.
That's some shit.
Oh, that was awesome, Chris. Well, we're at our hour, so thank you so much, Chris. This has been a blast. And
Great, me too.
Yeah, and so for all our listeners, if you have any funny stories about your kids,
or if you need some bad parenting advice, or if you have any ideas for topics,
email us at guidetopoorparenting@gmail.com.
Please. Okay. Or call us at 256-274-1329. We really, really would love for you guys to call in, because these stories are like so funny and different, and just, yeah, please call in.
And thanks for listening to another episode of A Guide to Poor Parenting.
If you like our podcast, please give us a 5-star rating on whatever platform you're listening on.
And if you don't like our podcast, just like when our kids ask if we will buy them a toy, even though they have enough allowance saved up to buy whatever they want.
Tough shit. Use your own goddamn money. I ain't buying you shit but food.
Bye, Chris. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Chris.
Bye-bye.
Nice to meet you.